Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the Real Loving Basketball Show. I am your co-host, Daryl Lamar Tao, and I'm here with my lovely co-host,
Coach Lee. We're back.
We back, 2025. It feel like been a long time.
It actually has been a long time. It's been almost a year, if not.
Yeah,
because we ended right at the beginning of 2024.
Yeah.
Our last season.
Yeah, so we back, man. We're excited about this thing. We're excited about bringing the world and our followers in our community of all the good stuff that we got to unfold for this year. You know what I mean? Coming out full speed ahead. Feels good to be back.
It does. I miss talking to y'all. Blah, 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 blah. I miss talking to you guys. I miss having these conversations on our little podcast. I feel like ever since that we started it, though, we started this back in the pandemic. Now I feel like everybody named Mama popped up with a podcast. I just had somebody else just hit us up. Another one of our friends hit us up the other day. Was like, yeah, we're about to start a podcast. And I was like, we did it
already. Yeah. Hey, everybody got a podcast. You know what I mean? Everybody got a show. But that goes to say, man, like, you know, I was talking about it the other day. Like, everything is wide open. You know, everybody used to be all on corporate and stuff like that and how to make money. Now it's multiple ways, and you're a creator. You can find any kind of way. You can do it from your phone. You can do it from your basement. You know what I mean? Prime example, and you can get some real money being consistent, man. That's, you know, and I feel good this year for us, for the Real Loving Basketball Show, man. But not just for us, for everybody who's been following us, following our journey, and following you know, all the good stuff that we've been doing.
I know this seems like this is the year of manifestation. We are going to be in a year to manifest a lot of this, specifically for us. Now, I hope the same for everybody else, but for us, I think we have went through every single thing you could possibly think of in the past 14 years.
Yeah.
It's about time for things to start to come to fruition.
Yeah.
Side note, just want to let y'all know, last year, I dropped 20. Then I got into the winter season. I feel like I got fluffy again. This camera is not helping me any. Then I went natural. Well, I've always been natural, but then I took my braids out for a little bit. And my thing is, I know some of y'all like, is that her real hair? Because y'all probably ain't never seen me in my real hair. Yes, it's all mine. Told you guys I was mixed with Asian. But sorry,
that thing on fleek, though. They still say that. It's on fleek.
I have no idea. But I'm sitting here looking at myself in the camera, and I'm like, But you know, 2025, I told myself this year, I'm not about to stress myself. I'm getting older. I'm married. At this point, you're just going to have to take me as I am. If I lose it, I lose it. If I don't, well, guess what? I'm not about to stress myself because life is too short to be worried about all these little things and these unnecessary details.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Just live life, man. You know what I mean?
And as long as I got my seat in heaven.
Let me ask you something. Why do women, like, do that? Like, y'all see yourself on camera. It's a different 3 or 4 different angles and all that stuff.
Other women. I can speak for myself as an athlete and then carrying these babies and seeing how I just cannot, I'm just not my old self. Now I still hoop and everything, but my body just doesn't look the same like back then, which is totally fine, but it's a process. As an athlete, you don't, just like y'all hoopers, football players, once y'all put the ball away, y'all be swearing up and down, y'all can still do half this stuff, and then your body, you get up and your knees and your back and stuff start rolling.
It ain't the same.
You be acting crazy, so it's the same thing for us. I just, as a female, as a former athlete, there's some things I wish I could, but at some point, I'm not about to stress myself about it because it's part of the territory. You get older. I haven't gotten grays yet.
A couple.
I have not. You're stressing me out. Haven't gotten any of that, so it is what it is. I just take it. Sorry, that was a sidebar rant. That should have went in my Ling Ling rants. Yeah. But, oh well. We are where we are now. Anyways.
Yeah. So what you excited about for the new year, man? All the stuff. Kind of recap what you got going on, what you excited about, you know, what's going on, how you feel about it in the world and things like that.
This year again, it goes back to getting older. This year I'm just stepping into like peace for real. Like I'm just not all the little nuance. Like I even just being in the school. So as you guys may or may not know, we both went back to work technically. So we still run our business, CTAB. We still got the real life. Everything's still rolling, but we wanted to do some additional enhancements and challenged ourselves for 10 months to lock into a job. So we both work in the school system, and we are on break. We've been on break. We were supposed to be back at school this week, but we had a snowgeddon, a fake little snow blizzard. And it's kept us out of school for almost the entire week. We actually go back tomorrow after a 2-hour delay. But I say all that because being back in the school system and being around, just being back at an actual job and working for somebody else, I mean, it put why I'm honored and grateful that God gave us CTAB to be able to work for ourselves, because you see and you're around cultures that's not yours. Meaning, and I'm not talking about ethnicities, cultures. I'm talking about the cultural environment of a workplace. And working for other people, and people, I see things a certain way and I see how certain things are being operated, and it's just like I'm grateful that we have CTAB because I can run things the way that I see it. I'm very much so in the space where like we should be supporting each other. We should be encouraging on a daily basis. You should be able to go to work and not feel any heaviness, you know. Now, it's going to be times, of course, but you shouldn't have to walk into work and feel kind of dragged down or be around people that just not dragged. And I'm in an environment, unfortunately, that kind of brings that. And I like coming in. I'm not a morning person.
At all.
Nice
No, you're
to
not.
come into work. When I come in, I still, hey, good morning. I'm the one who plays music in the morning time in my classroom and stuff, like, because we're about to be here for 7 hours. Like, let's get this day started. Let's be motivated. But then you get around people who are just like a drag. But again, it's not my environment. I'm walking into somebody else's environment.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I go on that whole rant to say that just confirmed that I just want to be in a state of peace this year. Like, this break that we've been on has been so just relaxing and peaceful. And we've still been doing tons of stuff. And I really, we haven't been off. I personally haven't been off because I still have practices and all that kind of stuff. But it's just been a state of like,
yep, calmness.
So for 2025, that's what I want. And I want to be around people, like I've always said, my biggest things this year, I want to be around people who are going to pray for me and pray with me. Like, I don't want all the rest of the foolishness. If we about to go into business or whatever case may be, I want to know that you got a word on your heart. That you're not just jumping because the dollar sign says we going to jump. Nah, we jumping because we got a word on our heart that says the direction we're going to move in. I want to be around people that if I'm not in a room and Joe Schmo or whoever else is talking about me, that you're defending me in rooms that I'm not in. Like, I've been through enough. Like, I want to be in spaces where people are protecting me and my name, and vice versa. Like, I don't want to be a part of all that unnecessary drama. And then I just want to be, following what God has called me and be righteous with my family and my husband.
Yeah,
that is just where I'm at for 2025. So if anybody is going to shake any piece of that, I'm going to tell you right now.
Don't do it.
Listen, my patience for any foolishness this year is like this. You see, when you close up, zoom up, you can't see it because that's how much I don't have room for it. I'm out. If you show your hand early, no shade. I still love you because God told me I have to love everybody, even the ones I might not be rocking with. I shall, because y'all are not going to make me lose my seat in heaven. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Right now.
But this year, anything that comes across my table, anybody got attitudes, anybody that messes with this right here, let me go ahead.
I knew that was coming.
Zoom. This is my last. You come for this in any capacity. You cross boundaries in any capacity. And I don't care what your boundaries are. These are my boundaries.
Yeah, talking to Mike.
This is our boundaries. This is my boundaries and our boundaries. You come across this threshold again, listen, I will challenge my seat in heaven to ensure y'all know I'm not playing. God made me, but he ain't done with me, okay? I'm telling y'all right now, 2025, that is the one thing. My children.
Is this
this man right
the Lee's
here.
rant?
This is. I should have went ahead and segmented it. This is my rant. Let me explain something to you. Y'all don't come for my peace and don't come for my peace, okay? This is my peace. I'm done with it. You see this? You see that extra big rock? Yes.
Ain't blanging.
It is. Look in the window. Look. Hey.
Say, look in the window.
Look at the camera. Anyways, okay. That's all I got for today.
Yeah, so when you say, go back to the workplace thing, one thing that I realized is it also give you opportunity to shine your light. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can, especially doing what we've been doing for being an entrepreneur for so long, and we in our own space, we in our own bubble, we out in the community with other people outside of the corporate world and structure. And then when you go back into it, you can see how people, are frustrated, how people are, down and out or just going through the motions.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, when I first went in, I was like, yo, this is weird. I'm scared to kind of talk to people because I'm already seeing like they frustrated or early in the morning, 7:30.
That's
I'm
the
like,
thing
yo.
I'm talking about.
I'm
Early,
like, yo,
y'all mad. Like,
yeah.
What happened? Did y'all somebody pissing your Wheaties before you got to work?
Right. But, probably about 3 weeks into it, I was like, man, I just go out here and be myself. I ain't shying away. I'm going to share my light. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to say hi. I'm going to do all these different things. And it felt weird at first, but I think it's needed. You know what I mean? So to see that perspective and see how the world is, going through some of these things, man, it's crazy. Not even the world, people.
No, I
in
agree.
the world.
I agree. I mean, everybody. I feel like there's a lot of people who are struggling, and like you said, even in the workplace, there's a lot of frustrations that's happening. But I feel like nobody has that outlet or even that space to be genuine or to let off what their frustrations are. I mean, things aren't perfect in the workplace. I get it, and it's this world is not perfect. But some of us have to make that sacrifice. So you have to go into a job. So my thing is like, well, how do you make the most of it? You know what I mean? It might suck, but there's still a space where you can still find some peace in it all and find some good in it all. So that's just my biggest thing. I'm with you. Like when I'm walking in, I'm going to continue to smile. I'm going to continue to speak. I will definitely make sure that you guys, people understand. Like when you come into each other's space, we need to learn to communicate. Like Don't just walk in space and don't talk. Good morning, hello. How are you? What can I help you with? You know what I'm saying? But I think our type of personalities, and because of what we've done thus far in our careers and in our business, is necessary for these spaces because some of these people, these are their livelihoods. So how can we bring some new energy to give them motivation to continue to go?
Yeah.
This is not our end all be all. This is for our moment that God has called us there. But I'm with it. Like, well, let's be different. Let's be the lights in these people's lives, so as much as possible. And in these kids' lives. That's the other thing. Like, we can't be adults working in the school system, pissed off every day, and then think that we have the energy to teach kids. Yeah. Then you wonder why these kids be acting crazy, because you giving off the same kind of energy. Yeah. And I'm seeing it clear as day. Like, well, you got an attitude, ma'am, so I see why such and such got an attitude.
Like, and the kids can feel it.
100. That's the crazy thing about it too. Like, people who don't believe that, if you don't have kids, you don't understand. Kids can really read and feel your demeanor and your presence. They know if you're gonna rock with them. They know if you're pissed off. They know if you know what I mean, you like them or you got them. Like, you can feel it. It's an energy. And I mean, just as adults, like, you walked into a crowd or walked and met somebody where it's like, something off. Yeah, something off about them, or they don't seem like they're in a good mood, so let me go ahead and leave it alone. So if we can feel it as adults, these kids can feel it. So we got to do right by these youth, like, and just try to change the trajectory where they're going, because at this point, they is wilding.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it is wilding out. What else you got for 2025?
What do we got? A whole lot, you know what I mean? Too much. And I said I'm going to do better this year. I'm not going to do a lot of talking about it. I'm going to just,
silence.
Yeah, move in silence this year.
I agree.
I still got to promote, still got to speaking into existence and manifest it. But at the same time, I want to be kind of quiet about it. But, 2 or 3 things that's going to happen this year.
I thought you were about to say it.
What?
I was gonna say, you just say you weren't gonna talk about that. You about to slide.
I do got a personal goal, though. I want to get my college body back.
Oh gosh, that's why I hate having this conversation with him.
I have a thing. I got to get I want to. I don't have to get my college body back. You know what I mean? You and our sons and family members. Oh, you look good. You don't need to lose weight. You know what I mean? But at the same time, in my mind, I see.
So now you understand how I feel as a woman.
Yeah, absolutely. I ain't disagreeing with it. You know what I
But
mean?
then
So
here's the issue.
you know.
You do it, and we go through this. Mind you, I work out way more than he does, hands down. And he comes, we could say a week's workout. I go 5 days a week. He go 2 days a week and drop 7 pounds. My 5 days, I dropped a half a pound. And it'd be frustrating because then he come in the mirror at home, upstairs, be like, yo, look. A little bit, you see the abs coming back? And I'd be like, this is my middle finger, mother. Okay. Like, bruh, all right. So that's my move in silence. I'm just going to go ahead and just, if I lose it, I lose it. And if I don't, I'm just going to leave it alone because Lord knows he going to make sure he let everybody know when he does. So I'm just going to, that's part of my piece. See what I'm saying? Right there.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but that's a goal, you know. Other than that, just continue to live right, continue to do right. You know what I mean? I'm excited for this season too, so we can, you know, talk about some of the things that we endured, that we have been through during the past year. You know what I mean? I think it's important for people to, you know, get our perspective on, you know, some of the things that may happen in relationships and marriage. Everybody think it's tough. I mean, I think it's easy, but, you know, it's really tough. And it's a day-to-day thing. You know what I mean? You really got to be intentional about that. You know what I mean? And so, you know, the whole therapy piece, the whole counseling piece, the whole, you know, being equally yoked and really being locked in. I'm excited to talk about those and see how many people we can help. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people going through the same thing. I just got a text today from one of my friends and, you know, asking about the men's group. You know what I mean? Yo, when we get a men's group going back on, you know, I did that. Well, it was like.
We did that.
Yeah, that was a minute ago. You know what I'm saying?
Sullivan Place. That
yeah,
was
for sure.
Too. I like that spot. I miss Sullivan. Shout out to Sullivan Place. That was one of our homes back in the day.
Yeah. So for it to be that long of him to shoot the text and say, hey, man, we got to get that back. You know, there's a lot of men out here hurting, a lot of men out here that need healing, that's feeling unappreciated. Some guys have made mistakes. Some guys are just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? They want to be biblically strong. They want to be, you know, a great husband and father and things like that. So to be surrounded by a community of people who share the same value and they just want to get better, man, because it's tough out here as a man, but also just an individual and a human as well. So for him to text that, man, you know, I'm excited about seeing the possibilities of that.
That's dope. I mean, again, it goes back to what we've been experiencing, like just, you know, being back at work. Everybody needs a little something. Everybody needs a little help. And the power of sharing stories and the power of testimonies is so necessary because you never know. Your testimony can help the next person. But if we're always so quiet about everything and never want to be vulnerable and be honest, you know, we're not helping each other out. We being stingy, low key. So
'cause a lot of people go through it. You know what I mean? You go through it and you feel like or you went through it, you on the other side of it, but you're afraid to share those experiences, to share your information, the things you've been through, not knowing that would help elevate you internally, you know, as a person of Christ or a person of faith, be able to get to the other side and be like, you know, now I'm a disciple, now I'm helping other people, and sometimes you can shy away. And I've been like that, you know, for years. I felt something was inside me that had more to give, but at the same time, if you're not living all the way right, you're not doing the things that God calls you to do, you're going to drop the ball on helping that sister or helping that brother or helping that person that's in your life. And that's the last thing you really want to do is, you know what I'm saying, have somebody that's in your circle that need help, but you're not taking that step to help them thrive. You know what I mean? Sure. So that's one thing that I'm going to do better this year too. I feel like I don't have time. I don't feel like, you know what I mean, like I'm in my own space, but at the same time, and I'm thinking like, yo, they should get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, figure it out just like I figured it out, or you know, take those experiences and just thrive with it or get to the other side of it. A lot of people ain't like that, man. So just to help people out on that, I'm excited about that.
Well, I mean, but you also gotta be honest with yourself, like the stuff that you went through and how you got through. Everybody else on the outside would have been like, you should have got it, but it took you to actually go through it, and or somebody to speak into you to be able to see the reality of life. So I mean, I think it goes back to we just gotta make sure that we're sharing and we're talking and we're being as communicative as possible, and again, just holding each other accountable. And that's the other part of it. Like that goes back to surrounding yourself. That's why I say I want people who's gonna pray for me and pray with me, because like this past year really showed my crew. You know, when life was happening, I had the people who weren't going to just say, "Oh, Lee, you should do this. Just go ahead and do this." I had the one that's like, "Nope, we about to fight. We about to fight on our knees. We about to sit here and we about to pray about this. We're going to go through it. I don't care what you feel right now." Because that's the other thing. Everybody likes to make moves off of feelings. And your feelings is temporary. It's not, your emotion is a temporary state. I could be happy-go-lucky right now, and in 2 seconds I could be pissed off because something happened, right? That's why your feelings it's not true. But when you got people who are able to push your feelings aside and be real with you and be like, hey, we're going to pray. We're going to do this. We're going to fight. That's the type of people that I want. Those accountability partners that's not going to let you just take the easy route. We're going to go through it and let God guide us through whatever these hardships or the good things are too. It's not always bad things, good things too. But that's what I think people need to surround themselves around more. I don't want a whole bunch of yes men. I don't want a whole bunch of people who are going to be just like, anything I say, they'll be, oh, yeah, we could do that. No, I want somebody to be like, wait, hold on, Lee. You know, does that make sense? Did you pray about that? Did you think about that a little bit deeper? What's the outcome of that could possibly be?
How long did it take, not to cut you off, how long did it take for you to get to that point of be able to be receptive to that information, or somebody calling you out, or not being a yes woman or man or whatever? How long did it take you to get to that point to be like, man, because I know it took me a while to get used to it. I'm still, not all the way used to it.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
No, I think it's different. It goes back to that that other podcast I was telling you about that was talking about your status as a child, like if you were firstborn, middle child.
Yeah.
And the more and more that I've heard that and then living it out, it's so funny. If y'all ever get to see it, I'll make sure that we post it on one of our platforms so that you guys can listen to it. It was off of Focus on the Family on Wavy 105.1. But anyways, for me, I think it's easier because as a firstborn, as a people pleaser and a perfectionist, I learn quickly. Like, I'm the kid that if you give me the syllabus and I know I need to get A's, I'm going to follow the syllabus and do exactly what is supposed to be done so I can pass. If I get in trouble, I'm not a person who's going to get in trouble for the same thing twice. Like, I learned my lesson right then and there. So going through things, when it comes to going through hard times or making mistakes or getting advice, like, I'm the person who I will divulge whatever it is. I wear my heart on my sleeve. If something's blowing me, like, I'm going to tell whoever because I need some type of advice or resources to get through it and get better. I'm always looking to do better, to be in a positive state of mind. So if I'm ever struggling, I don't care what it is, I will talk to whomever I truly trust and get it out and have the tools to move forward. So for me, it was easy. Like, and now I will say that some of my the ones who are really, my close people, now they have definitely said things that I'd be like, no, I don't agree. But perspective wise, like, they were right. You know what I mean? I might not always agree with what's being said to me, but I put it in perspective and I try to get understanding, and then it does ultimately make sense what's being said a lot of times. But that's the thing. I'm open. I'm open to learning. I'm always open to healing and changing, and whatever's going to get me in the next space, whatever's going to get me in, like I said, a peace of mind, whatever's going to push me towards success, I'm always open to it. Quick heartbeat. It don't take me too long at all. Well,
yeah.
Why is it taking you so long?
I don't know. I guess as an athlete, playing sports for so long, and being really good at it, and, having accolades and stuff, people can kind of, you can get your way. You know what I mean?
But I don't agree with that.
Wait, let me finish.
Because I'm the listen,
not get my way up. Okay, go ahead.
So I'm an athlete too. Right. And I'm also had accolades and everything like that. But I also, if the coach says this is what's going to be done, I'm going to do what's going to be done. Because clearly you're a coach and I'm a player, so let me listen.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, vice versa, coach tells you what needs to be done and you're going to say, I'm good. I'm going to try.
I'm going to do it. I mean, that's why we won championships. That's why I was one. But at the same time, it's always another perspective. Just because the coach, we ran this play and it's working, we doing it. But now the play is not working no more. What's the alternative? You know what I'm saying? Like I would see that alternative, and I would see it from a different perspective, and I would try it. You know
but
what I mean?
you would see the alternative before you even ran this first set. That's the
Yes,
difference.
you right though. But
See?
I'm also calculating like what's the next. I can see that. Like if they overplaying it, I see it, the possibility of me going back door 2 or 3 plays ago.
So
You know
why?
what I'm
So it
saying?
goes back to why would you not try what's first told to you to see if it works?
No, I
before
do.
you
Yeah, for sure.
automatically-
No, I do.
But that's what I'm saying.
1,000%.
So in life,
When somebody tell me
somebody
that,
tells you something off break that what it should be, you won't listen to the initial. You listen to what you've already calculated past the initial.
it depends.
You see what I'm saying? And that goes
It depends,
back to
but-
why it takes you so long to catch on to stuff instead of just
You're
being
right.
like, all right, let me try it once your way. And then if it doesn't prevail, then I'm doing it the way that
Yeah,
I've
you're
already
absolutely right. It
calculated.
just depends. It's a growing pain.
See how I caught him up right there? Now you got to think.
It's all about perspective, you know what I mean? Timing, all that good stuff, and what feels right. You know what I mean? If it feels right, I'll do it 1,000%.
See what I'm saying?
Sometimes I bump my head. I'll go ahead and I should have did it.
Yeah, look,
But I always come back and be like, all right, cool.
life experience.
You know,
is
yeah,
the
for
best
sure.
lesson.
No doubt. It is the best lesson. That's the saying for our youngest now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
For our kids.
Yes,
The best lesson is experience. And that's 1,000% true.
that is true.
Mm-hmm.
But to go back to what you just said, you see how you said if it feels right, you see what I'm saying? Them feelings, a lot of stuff feels right. Don't mean that it is right. Y'all, everybody, let this be the word for you today. Just because it feels right does not mean you need to do it. You know what I'm saying? You be with Shorty. Being with Shorty could feel right in that moment. But what are you messing up at the back end because of your moment? You know what I'm saying? This you could cuss somebody out in the moment. Somebody cut you off, and it's gonna feel good to cuss them out in the moment. But what's the recourse to the cuss out? You seen these people out here on social media be road raging because somebody just because somebody done flip somebody off, and now people is losing their minds nowadays.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy out here in the streets.
Seriously. So them feelings, to your point, don't go off them feelings. Just because it feels right don't mean you right. It feel right. It be feeling right to stay in bed in the morning times when we gotta go to work. Don't mean I need to do it because it sure feel right.
Yeah.
But I don't need to do it because the recourse is I'm going more than likely get suspended, fired, or something dumb, and then I'm not gonna get paid. And that's one thing we ain't gonna mess with is my paper. You know what I'm saying? But it feel good.
Right.
That extra snuggle, that extra deep snooze, tap it.
It is jump 5, 6 times.
1,000%. But anyways, well, we excited about this season. I'm excited about getting locked in, going deep.
Yeah, no doubt. No, it's gonna be a great season, man. And
a revealed season.
yeah, we're gonna speak into life. Sponsors. You know what I mean, monetization, engagement, and just sharing the word and sharing our testimony and all the great things that God has blessed us with to do. You know what I mean, and just elevate. You know what I mean, us and others, man. So, and high quality production.
Lord have mercy. I wish y'all could seen this.
Crazy.
We in what's it, season 6? Season 6, and we still doing.
Yeah.
His setup still take forever. Now I'll tell you, it looks nice. If you seen us from the first, our first season was in the basement of my parents' house.
Yeah, we're gonna do a recap
because we did. First season was when we was in the pandemic, and we just randomly started doing stuff with the cell phone. That was a good, low key. As much as everybody hated the pandemic, I loved the pandemic. Like God was blessing us, and still bills were still getting paid, and then we were able just to do the just simple stuff of life, like and chill out. And didn't have to get up and didn't have too much to worry about. And then we were doing virtual trainings and stuff.
That was a crazy time, man.
It was dope, though.
Yeah, it was a dope, crazy time. It was just different.
Yeah, it was. And we was at my parents. I mean, we went to my parents' house because we thought it was like about to be the shutdown of the world. So we needed to be around some people. Because it was just, who was it? It was just the three of us. Did we just have Zay? Oh, we just had Zay Zay. Yep, we just had Zay Zay. And then it was the three of us. And it was Keith. Keith was living with us, too, at the time. So we all moseyed on down to their big old house and took over, and it was fun.
Right,
it was fun. It was fun, but then once it got out, 3-4 months, it's time to go back to our space. Time to get back into our space. But to see that, and then to now, the setup is still taking forever. But I'm not gonna complain because if you look at the screens now compared to our first season,
exactly,
it is elevation. That's all that matters.
And we're gonna have a team.
If you're
You know what I
elevated.
mean? We'll have a team, you know what I mean? Some camera operators, a couple of producers, so I can just sit down and here, just get on the mic with my lovely co-host, you know, and do what it do, man. But let's get out of here.
Oh, you should. That's your transition. Now that's one thing he still needs to work on: our transitions into different topics. It's all right though.
Hey, but look,
right.
that's how I am on the
right.
phone. I be on the phone with somebody, man.
Yeah,
I
you
be like,
sure
yo,
do.
all right, man. All right, well, you know what I'm saying?
Be dead in the middle of conversation, and he'd be like, well, you know what? I gotta blow my nose. I'll call you back. I gotta itch my ankle. I'll call you right back.
You get it right.
Like, what? What's that got to do with anything we just talked about? But anyways, all right, y'all. It's been real. Welcome again to season 6 of the Real Love in Basketball. We got a whole lot coming in, so stay tuned in, stay locked in, and stay prayed up this year for 2025.
Yep.
Peace.